what is your take on, like, what do you think about reality? Do you think that we're living in a simulation? Do you think that everything that we see is exactly the way that it is? Do you think we're seeing projections of other things and we're just kind of like making sense of it? Like when you hear other people talk about the reality question, which comes up a lot nowadays, like what are your thoughts on it when you think about like what really is this all
is this
around
a Truman
us?
Show? Am I Truman kind of thing?
Could be.
I mean, I definitely think that we live in reality. I don't think we're in the Matrix, but who knows? I could be wrong.
Well, is reality the Matrix, or would reality be the pre-Matrix when they're living in the club and they're partying and they're walking through the city? Like, which is what is reality?
I do feel that everybody has a different experience, and we have different cells that make up our eyes, and so you probably don't see the same colors that I do. And I mean, we know obviously with people with conditions such as color blindness, it's even a whole other thing.
I don't see color.
Am I in black and white right now?
Yes, yes, you are. No, I'm just imitating what politicians say when someone asks them or someone accuses them of being racist. I don't see color.
Right.
I don't perceive it. That's the reality that I live in. AUXORO 2024.
Jeez.
But yeah, what do you think is, like, what would be your best guess as to how real this is, or what even reality is from a substantial level? Like, is this actually real? Or is it a projection of something? Are we brains sitting in vats? Like, what do you think? I think about this a lot.
This is great, shower thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't question it as much as you. Maybe, like, I do feel that through my scientific journey, I've lost a little bit of my, not creativity, but like the little mad spark of what is really happening in the world. But I do think that this is reality, and I do think that everybody perceives it differently based on like something, as colors and sound can be perceived differently because of how your cells are, how your genes are. And I also think, depending on how your brain is, you can perceive things differently. And that's why you have people that can hear different sounds, that can see different things. And depending on how your brain is wired will affect the way that you perceive the world and you move around inside of it. But I do think that this is real. And I do think that we're all on Earth right now and we need to be good to it.
Well, I specifically remember a moment when I was in middle school, and I can actually picture it. I was standing outside the cafeteria walking through the hallway, and the thought, for the first time ever, because I've had this thought multiple times, the thought popped into my head that, am I the only actual person on this planet that is conscious, and everyone else is just a simulated projection? That's
a very narcissistic view.
Yeah, that's podcasting comes with it. I just talk for 2 hours and force people to listen to it. But like, I thought, like, how do I? It wasn't that I thought that was the case. It was more me thinking about the proof of, how do you even know if someone else is real? Like, how much can I trust my senses? And now I have a little bit more sophisticated vocabulary to think and talk about that type of stuff. But, I'm still, I would say I'm pretty average in terms of intelligence. But like, at the time, I remember just wondering about how I knew if other people were like me. Are they seeing me the way that I see them? How do I, like, what's the proof that there are other people that are conscious in this world besides me? And it's kind of like, I forgot who said it, a famous philosopher, but the only thing I know is that I am.
Yeah.
And that everything else, like, there's no way, how do you know someone else is?
Is it, I think therefore I am?
I think therefore I am. Yes. Are you the guy?
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember having those thoughts, and Yeah, I don't know. I would say now my thoughts about reality fall more in line with we like a combination of reality and a simulation. Like what we're seeing is mostly real, but we're seeing one layer of it. We're seeing what we need to survive and live a fulfilled life. But if we saw everything, we wouldn't be able to function. So like our brains only pick up certain things, which we already know. We know our brains can only see on a certain spectrum, hear on a certain spectrum. So I think that is not designed for us to perceive all of reality. It's just designed to give us as much information as we need to walk through this world. But we don't actually see everything that's there. There's like other layers that doesn't matter to us, or that we can't see, that other species may be able to see.
I mean, that's what natural selection is all about. You know, like you get a bunch of traits, those that are not useful, they get rid of, and eventually just, you know, you have what you need to survive in the world. And so, you know, like there are like fish that have like X-ray vision and stuff like that. And it's super cool. And that's also useful for us for like research to like figure out why they do and how we can exploit this for our own use. But in terms of, you know, thinking, and I think it is a very human trait, you know, to think that we are so special. And I mean, we are in our own way, but in the big scheme of things, like on everything that's on our Earth, in our solar system, in our universe, etc., we are so small and so insignificant that the idea of like for example, when you mentioned like if I'm that only person with a consciousness, like I do think it's really cool to think about these things. But then I would ask the question, what would be the point? Like, that would mean that there's a simulation just made for you. Like, who would have interest in doing that? And I know that, like, you might, like, shift into aliens and things
another being that creates separate experiments for beings and put, like, each person, if our brains are kind of in vats, like the Matrix, where you're in your own little thing, and then every person is living in their own unique simulation that feel like your senses, everything feels so real.
Yeah.
And other beings are basically keeping us happy or alive for some reason, and the simulation makes sure that we're comfortable while we are doing that.